larger scale, the entire purpose of life is to attain the approval of God here, now, so that He may be happy with you then and there as well, which is a longer and everlasting life as compared to here. Jim said, know yourself. That's true. It is said, to know God, know thyself. So you cannot know yourself and know God. So you have to start, because you have to start small and from yourself, as charity begins at home. But just don't stop at home. Don't just stop at knowing yourself. Go a step forward and find out what it really means and how to implicate and what implications are. Thank you. Chris?
One of the most exciting topics for me is what is the meaning of life? Because as an educator, I believe that the primary purpose of education is learning how to live. The true meaning of life is one of the most exciting realities of the Christian faith, because a life of purpose is planned for every person by God. The glory, I believe, of God is a human being fully alive. The purpose of life is greater than personal fulfillment, than happiness, than peace of mind, although those are important. It is greater than family, career, or even your wildest dreams and ambition. It begins with God and knowing His plan. He knows what you need better than you know, and I've lived long enough to see some people get what they want and find out that wasn't what they wanted. Your life is a mission. It's a passage or a life message into society, into the world, and even into eternity. It is the reason you were born. Rick Warren, in his great book, The Purpose-Driven Life, said you must never forget two truths. First, compared with eternity, life is extremely brief. Secondly, earth is only a temporary residence. You won't be here long, so don't get too attached. Ask God to help you see life on earth as He sees it. That is not depressing. It is incredibly exciting. And God really, as our dream giver, wants us to enjoy the dream that He gives us so that we can serve our life purpose on this earth with exuberance, with joy, and even with recovery when everything goes wrong. God is the sovereign, great God who dreams big, plants hopes and dreams inside of us, multiplies our efforts, and sends us forth to accomplish greatness. And always remember this, it gets so much better in eternity if you just do it right here.
All right. Will you finish up for us? The word meaning necessarily refers to someone for whom something has meaning. It's nonsensical to say X means Y without saying X means Y to someone. When most students talk about the meaning of life, what they are really asking is, what is the meaning of my life to God? Humanists believe that we each have the right and ability to find our own meaning in life. The meaning of life for me may be different than the meaning of life for you, and this is far superior to having your life's meaning handed to you on a platter. In a sense, it's somewhat absurd to think that one out of even 4 people sitting in an auditorium somewhere are going to be able to tell you what the meaning of life is. As naturalists, humanists believe that our minds and our consciousness arise from the activity of our brains. When this activity stops, we have every reason to believe that our conscious life ceases. This is the very reason why humanists hold that life is sacred and each day of our lives is priceless. As with the laws of supply and demand, the more limited a commodity is, the more valuable it becomes. So each day of a finite life is a far greater work than those of an infinite life. While some may view a finite life negatively, humanists believe that life should not be viewed as a means to an end, as in, what did I live for? Instead, life should be viewed as an end unto itself, to be enjoyed for its own sake. The value of life is in the living of it. A good illustration of this can be found in the example of other finite experiences. For example, sand castles and ice sculptures. Why do we build these? Neither structure is permanent, yet for the audience the value is higher because of the transience of the experience. For the artist, the joy is in the creation process rather than the finished product per se. This is not unlike the Tibetan monks who go to great lengths to pour colored sand into meticulous, elaborate designs. These designs are eventually swept away, but for the monks, it is the process of creating them that serves as a spiritual experience. In life, it is each day we live and the experiences we have that have a value in and of themselves. This is the now of Eastern and Stoic thought, and is one way to find great meaning in life. There are certainly other common avenues and experiences that tend to yield happy and fulfilling lives, and many philosophers have spent lifetimes exploring the good ideas of this. We often find the positive contributions we make to others can give great meaning to our lives. To many, a meaningful life consists of being a good parent, a good spouse, and so on, contributing positively to the world around us. It is this way we live on in the memories of others and in the effects we have on the world.
Before we go on our break or 10-minute intermission, I want to tell everybody when we come back, we're going to have questions from you guys, from the audience. Raise your hand, and I'll call on you, and I want you to stand up and speak loudly so we can hear you because it's being recorded. I want to try to capture that on the tape. So we finished up a little bit early, so I have a little bit more time for questions.